the hallmarks of cults is an effort to convince a member to cut off all ties with the outside world, particularly family members. Other techniques involve abusive language or behavior directed at an individual to tear them down, alternating with kindness to build them back up in the desired image. These techniques and others were visible in Jonestown, Guyana in 1978 when over 900 people, all of whom had immigrated from America, died by drinking poisoned Kool-Aid, from whence we get the expression, drinking the Kool-Aid, when people are manipulated into absurd false realities. In a converted movie theater in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, some members began to feel uncomfortable when such techniques were being used on them. The church is named the Valley Brook Church, and it is part of an evangelical Baptist offshoot known as Converge Great Lakes. That larger group sent a team to Valley Brook to investigate claims by a church leader who resigned from the church to protest such techniques. Converge Great Lakes concluded that most of his accusations were true, which led to the dismissal of 4 other leaders, one of which claimed that his methods were the direct instructions from God. He had apparently convinced 3 other church leaders of this notion, and they were making strides to indoctrinate some church congregations as well. Fortunately, they had not yet gotten to the Kool-Aid stage. On April 30th, 2015, in a handwritten document on lined school notebook paper, Sylvia Driscoll, age 66, has decided to sue all homosexuals, referring to herself as ambassador for plaintiffs God and His Son and Jesus Christ. The 7-page document demonstrating excellent script penmanship makes many references to Bible verses, and clearly having done her homework, cites the Webster's Dictionary definition of the word sin. The only thing that the judge who had to review the case probably would have liked to have added was a too long, didn't read, TLDR section. The judge did give Miss Driscoll a schooling in the law, though pointing out that Driscoll lacked subject matter jurisdiction and cannot sue a class of unidentified defendants, and also criticized the form of her complaint as not being in keeping with judicial standards, stating, "But as an initial matter, the court notes that the complaint does not comply with the general rules of pleading, and the plaintiff did not set forth what relief she seeks in this matter. To the extent that she asks for anything from the court, it is a declaration that homosexuality is sinful, a question that the court cannot answer. The court may decide what is lawful, not what is sinful." After this, the judge cites several examples of legal precedent and concludes with a stinging rebuke. The plaintiff's motion to leave to proceed in forma pauperis is denied as moot, which might be translated as, not only did you fail the class, but you didn't belong here in the first place. The question remains as to exactly what happened on April 16th in the remote hills of central Huambo province in Angola. Authorities say that 13 snipers were killed in an effort to capture Jose Calaputeca, the leader of a religious sect named the Light of the World, whose members believe that the world will end on December 31st. Police state that this was in response to the killing of 9 police officers by these snipers. The opposition group, the National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, UNITA, as well as some human rights groups claim that not 13, but as many as 1,000 people were killed during this fight, and that the Angolan government is simply trying to stamp out opposition groups such as UNITA. Witnesses in the area assert that as many as 3,000 people were on the hillside engaging in peaceful singing, and that following the violent confrontation, no one was allowed into the area for 2 weeks after the raid in which houses were burned to the ground with people in them, and machine guns were used to mow people down. The Angolan government is said to be cracking down on religious groups who they argue are really primarily composed of people who oppose the government. UNITA has called for international investigations involving the UN, since local authorities have stated that they have no interest in pursuing the matter.